million views or you don't pay. If you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain exactly how this works. First, we build a tailored system around what's working in your niche, and then implement content systems for you so that all you got to do is sit down and film for a couple hours a month. Next, we place a highly trained editor from
So from the Matrix, I finally know what I do.
How do you feel about the investment that you made? Do you feel that you got your money's worth?
Yes, on the first day, for sure.
You got your money's worth on the first day?
Yes.
This is for me really a quantum leap, I must say. Like the first story in the book You Square, you know, about the fly before the window. The last couple of months before the decision, I thought, I'm the fly. Yeah, hitting the glass in the window every time, over and over again. So that gave you relief.
So you've invested to come to this Matrix, not only the money, but your time. How do you feel about the investment that you made now?
Oh, 100% worth it. Just becoming who you really are. The veil has fallen away.
I love that.
Wow. Just expanding into the awareness. Yeah, so beautiful. It's definitely worth the money.
Oh my goodness, all of it was exciting. It was the most awesome week I've ever had.
He's just wrapped up a 6-day event called The Matrix. We'd like to see how you feel about this event.
I think it was phenomenal. We have people from all over the world, and they're all here in the studio right now. They're in the house, they're in the living room and the recreation room. It was just a great week because we watched a group of people. They were like flowers opening up. Their awareness kept changing, and where everybody came in, it was pretty tight, nobody knew each other. Then they started to get to know one another, and they started opening them, and they started to work together, and that's when really magic started happening.
It was.
It was phenomenal. Of course, I go to every Matrix because I'm running it, but everyone is different. Everyone is different. This group was a pretty serious group.
Share with everyone, Dr. Lynn, what this week has meant for you.
I would say I experienced actually the quantum leap, as a matter of fact, and maybe even a few quantum leaps. I'm really terribly happy and grateful for the entire experience. Being here has.
He was from Calgary. Matt, I asked him one time, I said, Matt, how come he'd been to about 6 of them? I said, why do you keep coming back? He said, every time I come, my business increases. Well, every time he comes, he grows, and so the business is a reflection of himself. The biggest thing we have to learn is repetition. People that went to come to this before and then come back, it wouldn't sound the same to them. It's something different. It's when you read a good book through the second time, you don't see something in it you didn't see before. You see something in yourself that wasn't there before. You're growing, so you're looking into it deeper, and you've got a much broader view of it.
How did this one impact you differently than the first one?
I mean, this one just totally took my mindset to another level. The belief system that I've got now compared to what I had before, it's just like, there's nothing that's impossible, is it? You can really achieve whatever you want, whether it's income, health, relationships, and it's embedded deeper in my subconscious mind. And, you know, we study Bob Proctor on YouTube, we can read books, but to actually experience an event with Bob teaching on stage, looking at him, it just transmits that information straight into your subconscious mind. You just can't beat it. So whoever's not been to the Matrix, you need to go, because YouTube alone ain't going to change your life.
You've been here twice in 1 year. So What inspired you to come back for a second time?
I think because I've only actually came across Bob's teachings this year, and the more I just keep learning and investing, I've gone to every single program that he has, and I've invested in the 3% as well. So it's just immersing myself with repetition. So yeah, it's each time I do it, my income grows and I get better. So
best investment I've ever made. It was so worthwhile coming back 2 times. I was here last November, second time.
I have a saying in our business, the more you help other people get what they need and want, the abundance will be incredible. And the second time around, just solidified it.
You know, somebody said, well, aren't you just going through all the same information? And I said, well, yes, but I'm not the same anymore. So, you know, a year ago, I'm a totally different person. And even, as you just said, even the information Bob is sharing is a little different, he's a little different place. He's learned more. He's never stopped learning, and neither should I. So that's why we're here again. When you're in an environment where people truly want to do grow and advance themselves, for us and for our company, many of the people here become clients of ours. And that's not what we came for. But when they know that they can work with energetically solid people, people they can trust, people that are trying to help them achieve their goals, then it becomes a very powerful relationship. And so we have not only a great deal of friends here now, but also clients and people that are referring us all over the world, literally.
All right, you two just graduated from the Matrix.
Yeah.
And I know you've been to other events, 3%, Paradigm Shift. What is it that causes you guys to keep coming back?
Basically the success of our company and the growth that we keep coming back because it keeps getting better and better, like Bob says. I mean, just we started our company studying with Proctor Gallagher. We started with 6 Minutes to Success, and then we did the coaching program, and our company just went from like here to there.
Ryan and Julie, he had just started a new business. He was doing about $5,000. He just went over $1 million, did $1 million. And so they're back, and they realize the value of repetition. Most people don't realize the value of repetition, and that is because in school, you read the book, you answer the questions, okay, now let's get another book. You really understand the book you're in. Because there's no amount of reading or memorizing he does it. It's understanding and application that does it.
Bob was just talking about you guys. I interviewed him as well, and he mentioned the two of you and said that your business only incorporated a couple of years ago, and you did 5,000 the first year, and this year it's not even over yet, and you've done how much?
Over $1 million, like $1.2 million that we have, and it's not over yet. Yeah.
Like, that's a substantial win.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And it's all because of this. It really is. We were not thinking that way prior. We lack in limitation. I mean, we just studying with Bob, total change in owe it all to Proctor Gallagher. I mean, that's the only thing we've done different, and everything's been getting better and better, like I said. So,
what about you, Ryan? What do you love about Bob Proctor's material?
It's the delivery, the constant spaced repetition, like he always talks about, really getting involved into it and digging into it, the writing and the reading. The science of getting rich was absolutely the life-changing part of it for me. I just kept looking for an idea, and I came up with this silly idea to rent a wall. And it's changed our life. The phenomenal people that we've met throughout PGI, the people that work for them, the people that they're surrounded by, the people that they hire, the guy behind the camera over here, the girl talking to us. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It definitely changed our lives forever. Ever.
I hope you enjoyed this video. We put a lot of good information up here, and it causes everything in your life to get better. If you'd like us to notify you every time we put a new video up, hit subscribe and then turn on notifications. Check out all our videos.
Hey, you sound so confident lately. Did you start coaching or something?
Yeah, articulation training. Just 9 minutes a day. Built for perfect.
Let me ask you a question. How many like the idea of MSIs? Okay? I was flying to Kuala Lumpur. It's from Toronto to KL. It's 25 hours in the air. If you go any further, you're coming back. It's a long ride. And I was going over there every month for about 5 years. So I fly over, fly back. And I don't watch movies hardly any time, and I don't watch them on a plane. I work on the plane with myself. I think and I jot notes, and I carry a little calculator, and so I'm always reducing big numbers to the ridiculous. It's just a habit I've got. And I was playing around, and I wrote one with 6 zeros on the top of a pad on my way there, and I was thinking, I had earned $1 million a long time ago in a year, and I thought, what's so big about it? You know, what's the deal? And because $1 million seems like a magic number to most people. It's not really very much money anymore. But If you haven't got any, it's a lot. And I'm thinking, you know, what do people do? And I was thinking a number of people that have earned a lot of money, and I thought, what did they do that's so different? And I couldn't really come up with an answer. And then I started to think of a few other people that I knew that was earning pretty good money. And it dawned on me, they don't just have one source of income. And I kept playing with that until I got it down. They had multiple sources, and then I had MSIs. And I thought, we should run a program where we teach people how to earn $1 million by setting up multiple sources of income. And I got off the plane in KL, and I phoned Mark Victor Hansen down Newport Beach. He got a hold of Jack Canfield. They got a hold of Lee Poulos. And we put together this program. It was called the $1 Million Forum. And it was something else. That's where the Chicken Soup for the Soul books came from. And they earned mega millions on those things. It was a publishing phenomenon of the 90s. This was around 1991 or something like that, I think. But at any rate, we really got into this idea of MSIs. And it's a phenomenal idea. Now, most all people that I know that are earning a respectable amount of money, they don't earn it in one place. And they don't necessarily work. In fact, working is the very worst way to earn money. And he mentions that in Think and Grow Rich. He points out that it just is not a good idea. That people who think you earn it by working hard, they're wrong. I was doing a TV show with Robin Leach one time, and I remember we were sitting around between shoots, and he's probably interviewed more wealthy people than anybody alive. He said the wealthiest people he knows, he's never seen them working. So you want to start thinking about this. You don't earn money by working. That's a false concept. That's the one we're taught. You go to work to earn money. No, you go to work for satisfaction. See, if young people understood that before they left school, you don't work to earn money, you work for satisfaction. Well, then they would spend time thinking, what do I really love doing? What do I really love doing? And we should spend our days doing what we really love to do. Life is relatively short. And so why would we spend our life doing what we don't like? There's people that get out here on the freeways and they're locked up in traffic for an hour to 2 hours every morning and again every night. They think they have to do that. They don't have to do that at all. They can figure out something work at home if they wanted, with their marvelous mind. Well, we'll come back at this, but start playing with it. Now let's switch gears and let's think of you. Let's think of who you are and what you are. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. It's very important we understand this, okay? And what we're talking about is awareness. That's what Keith and I were talking about last night. It's all in awareness. There's a marvelous inner world that exists within us. And the revelation of such a world enables us to do, to attain, to achieve anything we desire within the bounds or limits of nature. We see it everywhere we go in nature. You see perfect order. Winter never follows winter. The night always follows the day. These are laws. When the tide goes out, it always comes in. Well, you know, this body that you're living in is a mass of energy. It's a mass of molecules on a very high speed of vibration. And when this body is not vibrating in harmony with the law, it breaks down. We call that dis-ease. When it is vibrating in harmony, it's alive and it's moving in the right direction. Okay? Your spiritual DNA is perfect. It requires no modification and no improvement. So what we want to really understand is that the center of our consciousness is perfection. There's absolute perfection locked up within us. And that perfection is always seeking expression with and through us. There's something in us that wants to express itself in a greater way.
There's a new career and a new training that you can start with no previous experience. It pays well, provides flexibility to work around family commitments, and it creates a deep sense of purpose, fulfillment, meaning, and impact for you. And all you need are 3 simple skills: good listening, empathy, and a passion for helping people. If this sounds like you, keep watching. My name is Marissa Peer, and over the last 11 years, I've helped almost 20,000 people start new, fulfilling, rewarding, flexible careers, helping people make positive changes in their lives. Many of those had no prior experience, just a passion for...
So if you're running, you're going to want to run faster. If you're jumping, you want to jump higher. If you're selling, you want to sell more. Whatever you're doing, there's something in you wants you to do it better. Now, some people, they try a few times and they fail and they give up, they just quit. And they just sort of vegetate until their heart stops beating. Their body shuts down and the game is over. But the truth is that you have perfection locked up within you. We're a spiritual being, and spirit is forever present, evenly present in all places at the same time. Spirit's all powerful. All the power there ever was or ever will be is locked up within us. You'll often see where a very small woman or man maybe has a loved one trapped under a car. They'll lift the car right off the person. And somebody said, how do you do that? In a conscious state, they have no idea. They say, I don't know. They're not even aware of what they've done. See, there was a command given to their subjective mind, lift the car. If they had thrown across the street in that state, they could have thrown across the street. So all the power is omnipresent. All the power you'll ever need is within you. It's ever present. This power is all-knowing. All-knowing. Any question you come up with, the answer's there. The answer's the flip side of the coin. You couldn't have a question without an answer. The idea of a rhetorical question without an answer, that's a statement. That's not a question. Question, answer, that's the law of polarity, the law of opposites. Inside, outside, up, down, hot, cold. There'd be no inside this room if there wasn't an outside. You couldn't have a question without an answer. Well, see, what we want to do is come up with the right questions. That's what I was doing on the plane. I was playing with my mind. I said, how did the million, how did it do it? What would you do? That's not work, you know, and you keep asking yourself questions and understand that the answers are there. Now, you've got to have enough confidence to follow your own answers. When you ask yourself a question and the answer comes, have enough confidence, know that you are God's highest form of creation. There's nothing that will equal you anywhere in the universe. See, all the other little creatures are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are the only one that's totally disoriented in our environment. And that's because we have the ability to create our own environment. We can literally create our own environment. Now, this is the real you. You are an expression of an infinite power. I think James Allen said you're the offspring of a deathless soul. Are you truly who you pretend to be? Isn't that interesting? Who are you? You know? Say, well, I'm Bob. I'm not Bob at all. Bob is my name. It's not me. I'll say, well, this is me. No, this is my body. You never hear anyone say am hand or am body. They say my body, my hand, my name. Who am I? I am a soul. I don't have one, I am one. And the soul is forever seeking its awareness of its oneness with that which is. It's just awareness, that's all we're ever seeking. And as we develop a greater awareness, it's reflected in our life. People don't earn 100,000 a year because they want 100 a year. They're earning 100 a year because they're not aware of how to earn 100 a month. People are not alone and lonely because they like being alone and lonely. They're alone and lonely because they're not aware of how to develop meaningful relationships. It's all in awareness. Well, we've got to understand we are spiritual beings living in a physical body, and we've been gifted with an intellect. But all the power there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. The answer to anything is already here. That's why Dr. von Braun said to President Kennedy, all you need is the will to do it. 5 words. Just decide on the target. You go way back to 1908. That's what Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill. Any idea that's held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. So if you're sitting at home, You want to realize that all the power of the universe is sitting there with you.
Wow.
You've got it locked up within you. It's so powerful. James Allen says you are the offspring of a deathless soul. We dropped a letter there. Okay. Now, ever present, all powerful.
Gary, I'm so sorry. 22 years. I've got recruiters calling me every month. I'll have something in 3 weeks. You sure? I've been doing this since before Google existed. I'll be fine.
All knowing. We want to know that we've got everything locked up with inside. In our sanctum sanctorum, go to the quiet place, go to the closet, close the door, go inside and realize that you can connect to an infinite power that you are an expression of. Now, the laws are exact. The law of your being is perpetual increase, progress, growth. So when one good is realized, another desire for greater good will develop. And when a higher state is reached, another more glorious state will unfold your vision and urge you on and on. Hence, the advancing life is the true life, the life that God intended you to live. You see, there's something within us that wants to express itself in a greater way. It's the essence of who we are. It's our spiritual essence. I am of the opinion, after studying this for over half a century and studying with some of the most magnificent teachers in the world, that if a program of personal growth doesn't have a spiritual foundation, the program is incomplete. And I have watched all kinds of programs come and go. They didn't have a spiritual foundation, it's incomplete. See, you've got to go to the root cause. You've got to go to the first cause of anything if you're really going to understand it. Well, you've got to go to the root cause of you, and you've got to get inside of yourself and realize there's something pretty phenomenal about you. You are a spiritual being. You live in a physical body, but you're not the physical body. That's merely the instrument that you're in. And you've been gifted with an intellect. Ask yourself if you know what your intellectual factors are. What are they? If you don't know, you're going to be hard-pressed to really develop them. And it's through the proper use of your intellect that you're going to dictate the emotional state you're in. When you find somebody that's emotionally upset, that's letting someone or something bother them, they are not using their mind properly. They are permitting somebody outside to control them. Now, I think this is vitally important that we understand this. Let's back it up a bit. You are a spiritual being. You live in a physical body. You're gifted with an intellect. And we will touch on this, what the intellectual factors are. But I tell you, I could walk by you in the hall and I could tell you so much about you. I could shock you with what I know. Because everything that goes on the inside shows on the outside. You don't hide anything. Your body is a mass of energy in a very high speed of vibration. And that body casts off energy. And the energy that it casts off, you've got a mental faculty that can pick that up and read it. You can read the vibration. The vibration tells you what's going on inside. It's a wonderful thing to start to understand. Now, through the use of your intellect, you can control your emotional state. We were teaching a group of kids a few years back. In fact, one here, where's Sarah? Is Sarah here? You're Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How are you? I was talking to Sarah's mother on the phone. She gave me Sarah's number. The last time Sarah was in a seminar, she was 11. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but that was 20 years ago. And I was teaching a group of kids at the time the difference between reacting and responding. When something happens and you react to it, that's something, the person or the situation's in charge of you. When you respond, you're in charge of you. That doesn't change what's happened, change what they said, doesn't change what they did. You're either going to let it control you or you'll control it. Michael Beckwith shared something with me, and I went to Michael's church this past Sunday. Gosh, that guy's so good. But anyway, he shared something a few years ago here that just made an enormous impact on my life, and you might want to write this down. When anything happens, it doesn't matter what it is, when anything happens, there's a three-step approach. It is what it is, accept it. You can't change it. If it's happened, it's happened. When anything happens, somebody says something, something happens. When anything happens, it is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. That's the first step. When anything happens, it is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. Step number 2, harvest the good. Harvest the good. The more you look for, the more you're going to find. There's something good in everything. Harvest the good. And number 3, forgive all the rest. Forgive means to let go of completely, abandon. Okay? Now, you see, through the use of our higher faculties, we can take control of our emotional state. I was working with a group of young guys in the hotel lobby the other day. A friend of mine come by and brought some of his buddies who were over from Belgium, just yesterday it was. And we got talking, and he was studying the law of attraction. I said, listen, forget about law of attraction for a minute. I said, do you know what you want to do? Become aware of how you feel. Get in touch with yourself. Become aware of how you feel. If you don't feel good, that means you're in a negative vibration. And if you're in a negative vibration, you're going to attract negative energy. You can only attract what you're in harmony with. If you're feeling good, then you're in a positive vibration. You're going to attract positive energy. So I said, become aware of how you feel. You might want to write that down. Just become aware of how you feel. How you feel dictates the vibration you're in. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. Yep, we're feeling good, we're going to attract good energy. If we're not feeling good, we're going to attract bad energy, and like that, we should change it. The intellect has control of what we do with information.
Be selfish for 1 year. I'm sure you spent most of your life taking care of other people, being selfless, and that's amazing. And you should do that for the rest of your life. But if you could be selfish for 1 year, to spend the time, put the energy, put the effort, put the work in to live into your full potential, you know you're meant for more. But you don't have the opportunity to unleash it because you haven't put yourself first, you haven't had a path and plan, and you're just hoping someday you do. That needs to stop today. Your children, your family, your spouse, your significant other.
When it comes.
Thank you so far. We'll continue with part 2. Until then, bye.